Alrighty guys, we're back for some double strike artifacts, and this is a Brothers War standard brew. We're gonna go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, for anyone who may not know, I'm Redcat and I play aggro decks and any decks with red in them as well, so hope that sounds fun to you. Also, we do got that Discord link down in the description if you're interested in joining that up. Okay, what do we got in the build here? We got 4 Goldhounds, a 1 mana 1/1 artifact creature with First Strike Menace. You can tap it, sack it, add 1 mana of any color. Just a terrific 1-drop that we never get to see for some reason. We have a single Rabbit Battery in here as well. There's some pretty cool stuff that we can reconfigure this onto, like our double strike creatures, for example. But also, this is another 1-drop that we just don't get to see too much anymore. It feels a little odd not to see Rabbit Battery, right? Because it's so good. We have 4 Voltage Surge. Early removal's very important, but also being able to sacrifice an artifact to deal 4 damage instead of 2 is really good. We have 4 Yotia Declares War in here as well, a 2-mana saga with read ahead. On the first chapter, you get a 0/2 flyer artifact Ornithopter, which is pretty cool. On chapter 2, you get to tap any number of untapped artifacts you control, and then this deals that much damage to target creature or planeswalker. This just ends up being pretty decent removal as well. And then on the third chapter, it gets pretty aggressive, where up to 1 target artifact you control becomes an artifact creature with base power and toughness 4/4 until end of turn. This just kind of hits creatures in here beautifully. Like all of our double strike creatures would be great as 4/4s, right? But also just making like Goldhound 4/4 is really good too because of that first strike and the menace. So, and obviously the Ornithopter because of that flying evasion, huh? We have 4 Lizard Blades in here. 2 mana 1/1 double strike reconfigure of 2 mana. An equipped creature has double strike. Cool. Pretty cool card. It dies to a lot, which I'm assuming is why we don't see it too often, but other than that, it's pretty good. We have 4 Dragon Engines in here as well, a 3 mana 2/2 with double strike, and when it enters the battlefield from your graveyard, you may discard your hand. If you do, draw 3 cards, and then it has Unearth for 3 and double red. Now, there's no Mishra in the deck. We're not worried about melding this. It just happens to be a pretty decent creature on its own. Yeah. We have 4 Mechanized Warfare, a 3 mana enchantment. If a red or artifact source you control would deal damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, it deals that much damage +1 instead. This is going to be beautiful in here. Works really well with the double strike creatures, obviously. Works well with the Yotia, the Voltage Surge, pretty much everything, right? It's going to be beautiful in here. We have a single Visions of Phyrexia. This is a 4 mana enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. Okay. At the beginning of your end step, if you didn't play a card from exile this turn, create a tapped Power Stone token. Okay, yeah, this card is pretty decent. I think it'll be worth having the one of in here. On the top end of the build, we have a couple Artificer's Dragons, a 6 mana 4/4 with flying. It's an artifact creature dragon. You can pay a red to have artifact creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn, and then it also has Unearth for 3 and double red. This card is sweet, guys. This is definitely worth like a build around, but since it is 6 mana on the top end, we only have a couple of them in here. Yeah, you actually get 4 of these from the Mastery Pass. I think it's like level 55 or something. So whenever we got those on video, I was like, oh, we definitely have to make a deck around this, right? We have a couple Ironhoof Boars in here as well. This is a 6 mana 5/4 trample haste artifact creature, but it has that channel ability here too, which we're probably going to use the channel ability more than we actually play this as a creature. Well, it depends, right? You never know. We have ramp with Goldhound and potential ramp off of Visions too, so the channel ability on here is 1 and a red. You can discard Ironhoof Boar. Target creature gets +3/+1 and gains trample until end of turn. So another card that works really well with the double strike creatures in here, huh? And then we have Skitterbeam Battalion, a 9 mana 4/4 trample haste, but it has that prototype of 3 and double red. So we'll move it into the 5-drop spot because that's what you're going to be doing most often, right? When you do the prototype, it's a 2/2. And when it enters the battlefield, if you cast it, create 2 tokens that are copies of it. So this card is actually just pretty amazing. It does a lot of work. Every deck that we've played it in, it's definitely won us games, so that's good. It pairs beautifully with Mechanized Warfare, since those are artifact creatures, right? I mean, yeah, it's just pretty sweet. I guess the prototype version, they're also red creatures too, right? So that's something to note. I don't know if we like literally ever cast this out as 9 mana in this particular deck, because there's only a little bit of ramp, and what we're really ramping into is that 5 mana anyways. So yeah, I think it's gonna be awesome. Also, like, equipping Lizard Blades to the Tramplers are pretty good too, and then just being able to buff it with things like Rabbit Battery could be awesome as well. Oh, speaking of Rabbit Battery, yeah, giving haste to the dragon sounds really good, but when you unearth this as well, it already has that haste, so you could be swinging in and then buffing all of your creatures while this is in the grave, which is just kind of insane, huh? Mana base, guys, we actually have 26 mana in here, because this is pretty heavy. This is a pretty heavy top end, and you always want to see 5 mana in this particular build. A couple of them are Mishra's Foundries. We have a Roadside Reliquary in here too, because there's a ton of enchantments and a ton of artifacts. So this is going to be able to draw you cards, try to keep up with some of those mid-range decks that are rocking Bank Buster and stuff like that. And then a single Crucible of Defiance. And the only thing to note with this card is that those spirits are colorless. They do not work with the Mechanized Warfare because they're not artifacts either. So 22 mountains as well. Hopefully we don't flood out too often. It's not every day that I play a deck that has 26 mana, but I think we're going to need it. I really do. Like, let's take a look here real quick, right? Unearthed for 5. That's that. This has the Unearthed for 5 as well. I mean, this is technically a 6 mana creature too. Like, there's just so much on the top end here. It's kind of insane. Well, either way, let's go ahead. Yeah, no honorable mentions today, guys, but you can use your imagination for the cards that I thought about for this build, right? Other than that, maybe like Fable of the Mirror Breaker might be an obvious one, because like the Shaman creates treasures, which you could use for like Voltage Surge and stuff, and obviously ramp as well. But it's hard to actually find room for cards when you're trying to do like a thing with like the 4 of each of the double strike creatures and stuff too. So I guess Fable of the Mirror Breaker would be the best honorable mention. Either way, let's go ahead, take this into some ranked, and see how we do. We'll see if we can get right into that first, right into the first match. I almost said video. I don't know why. Oh man, I'm pretty excited. If you guys can't tell, I was kind of rambling a bit at the end of going over the deck here. This was a really fun one to put together, guys. It really was, and there was like so much to consider for the build. I just can't wait to see like Double Strike actually do a thing too. As far as first hands go, it's not bad. It's not great. But I don't know what else to expect from a first hand either, so we're definitely keeping this. Okay, there we go. Yeah, we have a 2 and a 3. Both of our double strike creatures in hand. Blood Tithe Harvester. We should probably hit that, honestly. We should probably take care of that. Let's get our Lizard Blades down. Nice, another Lizard Blades for when they kill this one. When they inevitably kill it, because it looks like they're playing Grixis. But if they do kill it, then we get our Dragon Engine, and it might be another Harvester. Well, the Dragon Engine is going to be the target to hit here. Nice. Mechanized Warfare. We're just going to go for that. Oh, it looks like the cut down's going to come out of their hand, though. Womp womp. Well, Mechanized Warfare is at least on the board now, and it's ready to go, huh? 26 mana. I can only imagine we're going to draw a mana next turn. Corpse Appraiser, get rid of that Lizard Blades. We get a draw here. 2 land, to the grave. Uh-oh. We gotta be prepared for the Shieldred drop soon, too. Uh-oh, guys. Goldhound. Well, Dragon Engine is good, but it dies to Harvester like immediately. Like, I can't imagine them not killing this. So I think just getting a couple things down, getting the ramp with Goldhound, because they probably target the Lizard Blades over the Goldhound, and then probably drawing a mana next turn, because yeah, there's 26 in here. We're going to draw one soon, which means we'll have 5 mana if we get to keep the Goldhound, and then maybe the Battalion can come down. Okay, they ditch another mana. Maybe they're flooding out. They might be. Yeah, they hit the Lizard Blade, so we got to keep the Goldhound. There's the Shieldred drop. Oh, they didn't swing with the Appraiser. Alright, let's see what we draw. Yep, there's the mana. It's like I said, we have 26 in here, like... Well, at this point, since the Shieldred dropped, the Battalion is probably still worth it since we have the Warfare on the board, right? Do we just keep them all as blockers, though? I mean, we do this before they kill the Goldhound, for sure. Like, if we go Dragon Engine... Oh, it's so much damage, guys. But the Shieldred is just a terrific blocker here. Each of these do 3 damage each. So, being able to double block Shieldred could be important. 4 mana on the board. Yeah, we're just not in a great situation here to actually swing in against this particular board state. If Shieldred didn't drop last turn, then it would have been a good swing because it would have been a trade with a Corpse Appraiser if they ended up blocking. Wow, ditching all this mana but not finding the 5th mana then. It's a little surprising. Yeah, no 5th mana. 3rd Harvester drops though. And they pass it back, and we find our 5th mana. That is terrific news. We do have a big problem with their Shieldred, though. We have a big problem. Oh, man. Alright, no attacks. I'll tell you what, guys, if we can successfully get this dragon down and then it survives somehow. Yeah, they found their 5th, so Invoke Despair is something we have to anticipate next. And at that point, we do have enough creatures, but losing the Warfare would really suck right now. We go ahead and take out the Dragon Engine, which means we could unearth that next turn. Flesh Gorger, ew. These Grixis builds are nasty, guys. Goldhound's pretty decent. I wouldn't mind the Unearth with the Dragon Engine, though. Because then we'll have the Unearth on the dragon over here, too. At any point, the Invoke Despair could drop. I think I'm just gonna... Let's go for it, man. It gives us 1 extra card in hand, too, which we're probably gonna need. Then we have the Unearth on the dragon. Extra mana, not terrible. It's good to see. Get the rabbit back. Me too, man. Me too. That's funny, though. They're probably wondering what the heck is going on. There's no point not to swing. It's not like this would take out the Flesh Gorger if they blocked. Nice. I mean, that's good. Go ahead and get the Rabbit Battery down, and then Roadside Reliquary will be our 7th mana next turn. So what that ends up meaning is the dragon can come back with the Unearth and then buff this board state twice. And then if we get to keep this Mechanized Warfare, like, that's just... Oh, don't be an Invoke Despair. Okay, guys, we might have a terrific play next turn. Okay, we're down to 3. There's no point in just not full swinging, right? I don't think there's a point. We go in, man. Like, the longer we wait against something like this... Also, like, a Go for the Throat just doesn't hit anything. I guess we can wait to activate this too. This is sweet, guys. Shieldred with the carry for the opponent, right? But that's kind of the point of playing Shieldred in a deck like that. Yeah, we're not going to like save blockers or anything. At any point, this could be the opponent's. All they have to do is drop an Invoke Despair. Like, we're at 3, guys, so we're going to be at 1 next turn. The odds of them not having a damage in hand or something. Thank you for letting me, like, have a sweet swing here, opponent. Like, this is so much damage. Actually, well, no, they're at 28. I should probably count this out, huh? I mean, opponent's probably counting it out at this point. But we have 4 extra damage going through from the Warfare here. We'll have 6 on the Dragon, so that's 10. We'll have 8... Oh. All the numbers changed on my card, so now I got confused. It's so much damage, guys, down to 4. Oh, man, that was cool. Oh, that was so worth it. Now, yeah, we could have tried to survive. We could have, like, not swung or... Yeah, not worth it. It was definitely worth swinging. That was so cool. Again, like, Shieldred with the carry this time. Lots of extra life gain from that, too. Let's drop him the good game. I feel like that was close overall. I feel like there was just, like... I don't know. I guess we both could have drawn better because they didn't end up finding their Invoke Despair either. At any point, that could have just ruined our entire game plan. At any point, huh? We did miss a turn. We missed a land drop 1 turn, didn't we? But it didn't end up mattering. We ended up finding plenty of mana, which obviously came in handy there. That was sweet, guys. I mean, you can't ask for a better first match, can you? I don't know, like, just being able to do a really cool thing with the card that you actually built the deck around. I don't know, man. You can't ask for something better than that, especially against, like, a top-tier meta deck. Those Grixis builds have answers for days. And even though they didn't see potentially their best card, they still saw the Shieldred, which is potentially like the second best card, right? So, all right, yeah, good hand, I guess. Not really sure what we're looking for. Like I said in the first game there, I have no idea. Like, I guess we want to see more 1-drops, but we don't have too many. Like Voltage Surge and the Goldhound, and then a single Rabbit Battery, so like... Yeah, I guess that would be better to see a Goldhound in your opening hand, but overall, as long as you see some of your early creatures, you're fine. Thalia. Well, that stops the Warfare plan for a second. Let's see if they accept this trade or just take 2 damage. I think they take 2. They thought about it. Get the Dragon Engine down. Prepare for our turn 4 Warfare, which is going to cost all the mana. Just another great example as to why we need 26 mana in here. We're seeing a lot of Thalia. Oh, Skystrike Officer. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, see what trades they accept here. Let's see. No, they take it all. Down to 8. That is sweet. Oh my goodness. What if we just play the second Warfare next turn? Brutal Cathar would suck, but we might draw like a Voltage Surge. Cost 2 mana, we'd be able to get like Lizard Blades down. Oh, they pass. That could be a Wandering Emperor. And we see another Dragon Engine here. I don't think we play the second Warfare. If this is a Wandering Emperor, we have to anticipate having, like, being forced to play another creature. I think the extra damage from the second Warfare wouldn't be worth it over just getting a second Dragon Engine onto the board. At some point that Thalia's got a block too, right? Oh, reinforced. Yeah, Resolute Reinforcements. Okay. They could draw with Officer. They can chump block. It's double reinforcements, okay. So I don't know if Azorius Soldiers plays Wandering Emperor. You guys will have to let me know. I think some of them do have a one of, right? I think so. Yeah, so they end up chumping, and this is going to be where that trample comes into play. Hopefully we could find something. Yeah, they get another draw here off of Officer too, which means the odds of them finding more removal in hand. Dude, the meta though, huh? These meta builds, very, very tough. I think we can get there though, just like last game. That theoretically could have been anyone's game, right? Oh no. Oh no, the mural comes down. How are we gonna get that 8 damage through without trample, guys? Okay, Crucible of Defiance. At any point they can win the game too. At least, the least we can do is force some blocks here, right? We're gonna play the other Dragon Engine and the Lizard Blades for blockers on our side. Yeah, the least we can do is force some chump blocks. They're gonna be able to draw a ton though. Okay, chump block number 1. Number 2, are they gonna chump block number 3? Yes, they are, okay. So the mural kind of replenishes their chump blockers next turn, which is why they're not too concerned here. They get another draw off of Officer this turn too. Honestly, having all of these double strike creatures is awesome. It just so happens that right now against this particular soldier deck, the reinforcements locked it down long enough for the mural to now go ahead and lock it down as well. So it's really cool, man. I really like this build so far. We just have to see it do a thing now. Take the the untapped Dragon Engine, swing with everything probably. Nope. We get to take out the mural. Unless they have something for an island here. 7 soldiers? Ew. Maybe we should keep this. Nah, we need to take out the mural, don't we? Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Another Dragon Engine. Is that all 4 of them? Yeah, that's all 4. The Brutal Cathar has the other one. Again, once again, yeah, at any point they could win by buffing this board state. But we're also, like, forcing some serious blocks. 3 chump blocks. Yeah, we're probably dead. But we might be able to just block everything next turn. Well, it'd be more fun to swing. Kind of like the last game. They probably have it. They probably have it because they've been drawing so much with the Skystrike Officer. So let's get those chump blocks in, and even if we keep all 4 back, I think they're going to be able to buff this wide board state easily. So I think we just swing, we have fun with it. Maybe they don't have it and we're able to survive a full swing next turn, and maybe we'll find some of that trample too. Draw with the Officer. They can do that 2 more times, guys. There's no way they don't buff this whole wide board state. There's no way. Ooh, buddy. Yeah, this Azorius Soldiers deck has been seriously just stomping me recently. I don't think I've won against Azorius Soldiers for a couple of weeks. I think that might mean I have to start building decks around this again. Although, like, I haven't seen mono white soldiers in a long while, which, again, I keep bringing this up. That makes sense to me. I do think the Azorius Soldiers just has more answers overall. Really, no buff for the board state here. Really? No buff for the board state. We're alive? Somehow? Like, we're getting lucky? But, like, there's nothing we can do next turn, right? Second Brutal Cathar. I mean, taking the other double strike creatures out of the equation, I don't think there's anything we could possibly draw. I really don't. Unless, like... Okay, Goldhound. Yeah, there's nothing we can do, huh? Especially since we had no options to, like, bring this back from the grave, too. But this is a great example of why double strike creatures really need to have that trample. And we only have a couple cards in here that give that trample, so... could force more blocks. Let's actually go for the blocks next turn. Yep, they dropped the GGs. Very good game, opponent. We'll let them swing on in and we'll do some blocking. Oh, Intrepid Adversary. I wonder if they had that last turn, but they decided to go wider for some reason. Or if they just happened to draw that. So we would want to block the Cathars, is what we would want to do, right? We would want to block probably the 3/3. And I guess chump the Guardian, right, would probably be the best blockers there if we had 100 life. Couple Dragon Engines come back onto the board. Man, I can't believe we saw all 4 Dragon Engines too. All right, we can do this, guys. Like I'm actually like building confidence through the defeats. Like that was like tier 1 Grixis. That was tier 1 soldiers. Like I think there's actually something to this deck here, just a little bit. Like they kind of like there were moments in both of those matches where I was like, are we actually going to get there, right? We can do a serious amount of damage, and had we drawn a little bit better in that last game, I don't know, man. And we go first here, but having Voltage Surge open to go ahead and take care of their turn 1 could be huge. Dreams of Steel and Oil. What the crap? Excuse me, opponent. Oh, wow. Yeah, Lizard Blades is out of here. Oh, man. My turn, too. Nice choice, though. We haven't seen that one. Make Disappear. Crap, guys. Not a Make Disappear. Ah, well, we'll try it. We'll try it. Oh, a Negate. Okay, the opponent is very specific with this, with this build right now. Very specific. All right, passing it back. Let's see if it's going to be a Siphon Insight. Okay. Well, we know Sheoldred exists in this build. I wonder what they took from us. Very cool lands, opponent. Very cool. Yep, the Sheoldred goes onto the board here, and not a lot of great ways to deal with Sheoldred, as we've shown. Mechanized Warfare is, in fact, one of the few ways that we can get there with the Voltage Surge. But the first step here is actually going to be getting the Battalion onto the board, and then just holding back. Because now next turn, we have to get Warfare down, and then Voltage Surge, get rid of one of the battalions and do 5 damage to that Sheoldred. If we're allowed to do 5 damage. I mean, a triple block isn't bad. Unless they have a Fading Hope. Yeah. We'll just take the 4. We'll take the 4. The opponent's deck is very scary and probably has a counter for the Voltage Surge as well. Ooh. 6 mana for the dragon, though. Maybe we'll be able to keep up pace here. I'm going to try the dragon this turn, guys. Because if it's already leaning towards the opponent, then you might as well go for something, like, explosive, right? Oh, they took a Voltage Surge from us. Huh. Yeah, we'll let them keep the Sheoldred for now. Hopefully, no answer for the dragon. They know it exists, though. Ah, Dissipate. Ah, come on, opponent. Come on, buddy. A Reckoner Bankbuster. No 6th mana from them. Down to 8, down to 6 from the draw. At this point, oh, nice. Okay, we can actually hit the Shieldred now. Oh, Yotia Declares War as well. Okay. So Mechanized Warfare. Let's see. I guess the Yotia Declares War. And then ditch the 0/2. If we go the second route here, it would do 4 damage here too. I'm gonna swing. Back down to 16. They drop the nice. Let's get that artifact. 5 damage. Should we play around them dropping a creature? Nah. We got like to the point now, because we could have gotten rid of a 2/2 and had the 0/2 to block the Bankbuster. But we haven't seen any other creatures other than the Shieldred. They have 4 mana again. Phyrexian Dragon Engine. Okay, Simit 0. They don't have a creature or planeswalker. Oh, are we forced to target something? I guess so. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, Phyrexian Dragon Engine's pretty good. I can only imagine... Wow, down to 10. Let's see if the Dragon Engine hits here. They do have Dissipate, and we can't, like... Yep, Dissipate hits the Dragon Engine, and that exiles it. Oh, no. Oh, no. The Dragon Engine was such a good draw, too, but, yeah, not having it in the grave. Wow, we drew a Skitterbeam Battalion off the top. There's no way it lands, right? There's no way. A deck like this probably has all 4 make disappears, too. I mean, we gotta try it. We gotta try it, man. Come on. Oh, woo! What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? I mean, I'm swinging. I don't even care. We're not playing around the Bankbuster. I'm swinging. Oh, an Urtai. So that can block 1, kill 1. It kills the 4/4. They can block twice now, but they're kind of forced to block here. They can take 9, and then... Oh! How come? How come, opponent? Did they forget about the warfare? Or were they just giving it to us for fun? I don't know. Guys, I'm still in the boat that I feel like we might have something here. Even though the opponent's deck there was based purely on misery for the opponent, right? I don't know, man. And yeah, it was looking pretty good for them once the Urtai hit, because they could have successfully double blocked, you know, played another creature on their next turn, swung with the Bankbuster. We'd be sweating. We know, like, Invoke Despair probably existed in the deck. They probably had more than that one Shieldred, too. So, like, everything about the opponent's deck was probably just leaning it towards them. But I don't know, man. Like, there's so much, like, explosive damage in this deck. Yeah, I can't tell if they were just being nice and letting us win, or if they forgot about the Mechanized Warfare dealing that extra damage. Because if they would have taken that without the Warfare on the board, it would have been 8 damage. Okay, opponent goes first here. Yep, this is keepable. I like it. I like it. We actually have the trample here, and, you know, anything we draw is pretty much playable at this point. Well, I guess more land might not be the best thing if we only see mana for the next 5 turns. Other than that, it's a decent one, having double creatures in a world full of removal spells. Oh, we got some simple... Nice, there we go, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, so much to draw into. I can only imagine Hopefully they don't have too much removal, but with the Weaver of Harmony, that probably just means that they're rocking a bunch of the Exile enchantments. I mean, if you're giving me the block, I'm gonna take that block. Hey, nice. Let's get that out of there, huh? Let's try the Dragon Engine. Yeah, we don't see Tamiyo's Safekeeping too often in these builds, but I would recommend it if you're playing Selesnya enchantments. At least a 1 or 2 of a Safekeeping will be pretty good. Swing with the Dragon Engine and see what they end up doing here. Because they could have something in hand to deal 10 damage to them if we want with Ironhoof Boar. But trust me when I say going wide here is just going to be better. The Weaver of Harmony being able to gobble up a couple creatures every turn with its ability, right? They drop the Exile removal, they copy it with the Weaver of Harmony, they take 2 creatures, at least we'll still have 1. Maybe it wasn't worth it. If we would have just kept this Dragon Engine, they wouldn't have had the extra targets for the borrowed time, right? We have the Skitterbeam Battalion next turn, though. Yeah, we might as well continue with the plan of going wide, huh? That's a ton of damage here. 8 damage on the board. We are seeing only meta builds. Well, I guess the Dimir deck wasn't technically meta, huh? I guess technically we don't see Dimir too often. Yeah, borrowed time number 2. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, guys. Now I'm worried. Yeah, Weaver of Harmony being able to gobble up absolutely everything here. And swing for 4. Commune with Spirits. Might as well grab more removal, right, at this point. Get a Naturalist to hand. They actually pass. Because they're pretty afraid. I mean, Voltage Surge hits the Weaver of Harmony pretty well. And they might block one of the 2/2s, and then the Ironhoof Boar takes care of that. The problem with that is they'll get Kami of Transience back to their hand. It's tough decisions, guys. It's definitely tough decisions, because we could also just play the boar down, but that's an easy trade for the boar, so, well, crap, yeah, you know what? You know what? Maybe we did just play the boar instead of the channel. This is extra damage this way, but it was extra damage the other way too. If we played the boar, they still might have just went for the 2/2 as well. Down to 5, but we're pretty much goners, I would say. So if we would have just played the boar for all 6 mana, we wouldn't have the Voltage Surge open. Jukai Naturalist hits. Let's see if the Weaver of Harmony swings here. No swing. At the end step, I suppose we can go ahead and take out the Weaver of Harmony. Tough decisions, guys. We don't have a lot of ways to take care of the borrowed times, and them being able to gobble all that up is pretty rough. We might want to go for the draw. Nah. Okay, now we might want to go for the draw. Let's see if they end up trading here, or if they just end up taking 2. I think they take 2 because of the lifelink. No, they end up trading. Let's go ahead and draw a card here, see if we find something good. Goldhound, not bad. Alright. Kami of Transience goes back to their hand, unfortunately. Oh, man. Now, Goldhound does have Menace. Can we talk about how much we lost this game, but we're still in this? Oh, borrowed time number 3. Take the Goldhound, and they have gobbled up everything. Woo! Woo! What a top deck, guys. Oh, man, we could get there. No! No! Well, the odds were stacked against us this evening, huh? Man, we gotta return to this deck at some point. They took a Dragon Engine, Lizard Blades, Battalion, Lizard Blades, Goldhound, and an Artificer's Dragon with the borrowed time. I think we're dead, but maybe they only see mana here, and maybe we'll find something. First strike on the Goldhound takes care of Visitor, so that's good. I'm surprised by the swing with the Visitor, because now they don't have any blockers. Oh, we're 2 mana short. The Battalion's very expensive, huh? What's in hand? What's in hand, guys? What? No. No. Oh, guys. Holy cow. Oh my goodness. What a amazing amount of top decks from both of us there. I'm still, did I have fun that match? Yeah. Even if I lost, I had fun that match. I mean, I guess they have to ask because of the 4 borrowed times. Oh, guys, that was amazing. There was like no doubt in my head that after that dragon left, we were dead, but we still got there. It's like I said, there's so much explosive damage packed into this deck. I don't know, man. I don't know. What do you guys think? You gotta let me know in the comments. Am I right? Is there actually something here? Should we look into this a little bit more? I already have a couple ideas to make this a little bit stronger. Now, for the sake of the double strike theme, we're rocking like the Lizard Blades, but I don't think 4 of these is the answer. I think we can drop down to 2. That being said, I do think the 4 Dragon Engines are perfect. I think they're terrific. It's too bad there's so many exile effects, but when you're up against a deck that isn't exiling everything, then the Unearth ability is just amazing on this and can literally help you find that explosive damage that I just mentioned, right? Skitterbeam Battalion, let me tell you what, 4 of these was worth it, huh? Yeah, you always want to see that 5th mana, so the 26 mana was also worth it. Ironhoof Boar, since we dropped 2 Lizard Blades, we might want to go up a 3rd Ironhoof Boar, as we saw how important that extra damage would have been in that match against Azorius Soldiers, where they had unlimited amounts of chump blockers. Getting that extra damage plus the trample and the Mechanized Warfare, we probably just would have won had we seen an Ironhoof Boar. So I would drop 2 Lizard Blades, go up an Ironhoof Boar, and probably removal of choice, probably like an Abrade. An Abrade would be really good. And of course, like Fable of the Mirrorbreaker, you could also consider. If you go Fable of the Mirrorbreaker at all, I don't know exactly what you would take out. I think Yotia Declares War is also just really, really good in here too. So I think you could safely drop the Rabbit Battery and potentially the Visions of Phyrexia and go up to Fable of the Mirrorbreakers if you're really particular about having that card in your deck because it happens to be really powerful. Other than that, I do think that having the Visions of Phyrexia and the Rabbit Battery as one-ofs in here is still pretty alright. There's actually going to be a lot of times where you're up against control and an empty board state, and having that haste on Rabbit Battery swing on in and get that extra damage with the Warfare on the board is just really good. And then being able to equip this onto things like Goldhound that has the First Strike Menace, or any of your double strike creatures, or like the Ornithopter which has evasion, it just can go a long way overall. Acts as an extra artifact to sacrifice to Voltage Surge as well. Forgot to mention that the extra Power Stone tokens work with Voltage Surge, but that was pretty obvious too. I just forgot to mention it earlier. Artificer's Dragon is actually really cool, man. Like, there's just so much explosive damage in this deck, it's actually insane to me. Roadside Reliquary literally winning us that last game because we got to draw that 1 card deeper into the deck, which was essential since we were top decking for the victory there. Amazing, guys, amazing. I think the double Mishra's Foundry is going to be fine too. It's going to win you some games every now and then, even though we do have like the double red and Warfare. It might slow you down sometimes, but I still think it's going to be worth it. Like 23 of the other red sources is 100% a-okay, right? So much to talk about here in the final thoughts, guys, but there's a lot to say for how much fun I had today. And even though the opponents kind of destroyed us in a lot of those matches, like the meta is just absolutely brutal, but there's something here, man. I don't know. I gotta return to this one for sure. Something else we could consider if we want to try to make it more competitive. Now, hear me out, right? We could drop down to 3 Mechanized Warfares. I get it, right? Like, I get that it helps with the whole explosive damage nonsense, but imagine also if when we were up against that Azora Soldiers deck, if we had extra removal. So, you know, dropping the double Lizard Blades, going up the Ironhoof Boar, going up like an Abrade, dropping a Warfare, going up a second Abrade, right? Because we're still seeing a lot of prototype decks too, a lot of artifacts floating around. The Phyrexian Flesh Gorger is not only in Grixis builds, but it's also in mono black builds, and some of them are just playing them as 4-ofs because it's so powerful, right? So having a Braid to be able to take that life gain out is very important. Other than a Braid, the Rending Flame, what is it Rending Flame? I always forget the name of that. Always forget. Yeah, Rending Flame could be pretty good to help us take care of Sheoldred. However, we saw that Voltage Surge actually helped us take care of Sheoldred with the Warfare, right? So if you do end up dropping that Warfare for the Rending Flame, you're going to see the Voltage Surge Warfare combo less, but it would maybe be worth it. Like, sometimes you just got to do 5 damage to something, and then if you do have the Rending Flame and the Warfare on the board, then you're doing a ton of extra damage to something too. So yeah, just a lot to talk about here. You guys have to let me know, what would you add or take out down in the comments. I'm very curious to see if you guys enjoyed this one as much as I did. Keep your eye on this dragon, guys. It's a pretty cool top end, man. It's a pretty cool one. It like, I guess you could consider it janky, but in the right build like this with like the battalions and everything, I don't know, dude. Seems kind of insane. Okay, enough rambling today, huh? This whole time I was so excited to play this one. It was so fun to build, and then the whole time I had a blast, so it ended up just having so much to say. If you guys made it this far into the video, then y'all are champions, and I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.